Thank you, Riv. I like that final answer there. Yes, of course.
Of course they
Why
are.
would you think anything else?
I mean, they just beat teams 1, 3, and 4, so they are now 4th. It's
exactly. And this was one of those games where you're sitting there and you're racking your brain and you're saying, you know, did everything go right for Team Impulse, or did everything go wrong for Team Liquid? And
also, yes.
And yes, kind of both things, right? They kind of worked hand in hand, but I mean, really, Team Impulse played that well, and you know, we continue to go, how is this possible with a team that was scrapped together, has different language barriers, and they're doing it, they're making it work.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it centered around Xiao Xiao's Karthus pick today and this week in general. It was a new thing that teams had to deal with in the NA LCS, and it just enabled so much cross-map pressure. Everywhere Rush would go to make a play, Xiao Xiao would kind of be there with him, and it's been years since we've actually seen teams use that as a key strategy, and it really worked out for them this week.
It's that little bit of added power they needed in any of their engagements around the map. We do have our first replay. We're going to pull that up. We're going to the top lane. I mean, this is one of those situations where after watching this, we all kind of turn to each other and we're like, I think it's over.
Yeah, and it was at a point where Team Liquid needed to turn this gank around in some way, because this was the closest and sloppiest gank we ended up seeing from Impulse. Let's just roll this right now, because we have Impact and Rush making yet another gank onto Quas. But Impact did say they did have some miscommunication in some of their ganks, but they land the Q onto Quas. The fact that they didn't instantly kill him there, and Dominate comes in, you're thinking, all right, he's got this. Dominate's going to be back in the game, but when you're playing Maokai, landing those auto attacks is the most critical thing. He gets that, and even if Rush didn't finish him off, the Xiao Xiao ultimate would have, which just kind of went to show, once again, everywhere Rush was, Xiao Xiao would be able to back him up.
Yeah, it was a great flash there by Impact, too. Instantaneous out of that Cataclysm, giving him just one more second of breathing time. And as you said, that seemed to be the trend throughout the game there for Team Liquid. Always an inch away from a kill. And that, I do kind of want to roll into our second replay with that. We're going to go down to the Dragon side of the map. In the river, this was a team fight where it was just literally the exclamation was like, they won't die.
Yes.
Just no one on Team Impulse will die.
It's exactly. This was shortly after the top lane gank where I said the game was over. And this is kind of why Quas's ultimate was down, which is critical in this fight. Let's actually roll it, because aside from Quas having his ultimate up, Team Liquid did everything they could. Impulse was just brute forcing this. They didn't have the speed shrine. Watch X Special's ultimate as well.
Four people are out of the fight there.
Delays things so far, but Impact is sitting in there. Nobody can kill him. Rush is free hitting. Apollo is free hitting. Xiao Xiao had the dragon on him for 3/4 of this fight, but it didn't matter because they had that huge lead. Phoenix's ultimate had just come up at that time. So much of why they could never win team fights is Impulse was keeping the pressure on them the entire game, so their ultimates were never in sync. If they had a Lulu ult at the start of that fight, they had a Kennen ult at the start of that fight, maybe it could have changed things, but Impulse was always striking first.
Right, so it begs the question, because right at the beginning of this, you had mentioned a lot of this is stemming from the power of that mid lane Karthus pick and having the added pressure on the map. Is the solution then, I mean, obviously there's ignoring the just ban it, strategy. The pressure, we haven't seen teams, granted only 2 games, we haven't seen teams direct all of their attention towards that mid lane and punish him, especially for the fact that he goes with a Catalyst tier start. It's a very greedy build.
If he's just going to farm all game anyway, why change anything? And Xiao Xiao, I see him continuing that until teams actually disrupt it. I agree. If you don't pressure Karthus, he takes the pressure outwards. And I really do feel like it's been so long since people have had to deal with this Karthus pick that it's going to take maybe only a week of coaching and recollection of what happened, because it hits them too quick and they weren't ready to adapt clearly.
Catching people off guard. We'll see if they can make the adjustments that they need to get that Karthus under control. Well, coming up after the break, we've got Gravity taking on Winter Fox. Don't go anywhere. The NA LCS continues in just a few minutes.
Nice.
Battle for the middle. Winner in sole possession of 4th place. Let's go. Earlier with a blue buff Piglet with exhaust on him will be first blood. Goes to Adrian. Now the target onto Xpecial. Adrian still has aggro. Good flash by Impact, but he will likely still die. No, Impact still healing. Are you serious? They take him down. Quas still not engaging, but Rush does go down. 1 for 0. Quas ults but dies to Apollo. Turret's gonna go down.
Jarvan J4. Nice. Kennen.
Yeah, Kennen.
Kennen no damage. It's okay.
Oh, nice.
Nice, no bad.
Team Impulse absolutely dismantles Team Liquid.